Tom Miranda has hunted New Zealand many times.
Look at this fallow deer. Look at the paddles.
And has been successful on several species, including red stag, fallow deer, and chamois.
Look at this beautiful chamois, one horned and all. I'll take them. When you start thinking about the Himalayan tahr and the alpine chamois in the mountains eating a very fragile habitat, there are a lot of people that are against these animals. And because of that, you can hunt these animals 12 months a year. You can shoot them out of a helicopter and leave them lay. No hunting in New Zealand with a bow and arrow starts with a helicopter ride. If you're going to do it right, you don't want to shoot out of a helicopter. You want to use the chopper to get into the roughest terrain possible, because that's where the animals live. You're going to set up a tent, and it's going to be just like you're hunting in Alaska from that point on.
This little mountain stream that flows out of the pass here is really rolling this morning. Not very many places we can get across without getting wet, but this is extreme adventure bow hunting.
Himalayan Tahr got very, very good senses. Like most goats, their eyes are absolutely amazing and they can pick you up from miles away. They are super alert, a herd animal, so you're always stalking more than one, with multiple eyes, multiple ears, and makes things very difficult. The wind also in this mountainous country swirls around, and with their very acute sense of smell, makes them very, very hard to approach.
The weather has been both unpredictable and uncooperative, with heavy fog and rain reducing visibility and making the trek up steep, overgrown mountainsides treacherous.
Of winter, when their coats are much thicker and stronger. The downside to that is that they live much higher on the mountain with the nannies. And this sort of hunting can be quite dangerous, especially if you hunt it the real way, which is by foot. I prefer to hunt Himalayan Tahr in February or March. The great thing about hunting them at this time of year is the mature bulls change colour earlier than the immature bulls, which means they're much easier to spot on the mountain and much easier to get close to.
Whenever you're hunting in the mountains, the weather can change at a moment's notice. But when you're in an area that gets a lot of rain, one of the things you got to think about is blood trailing. These valleys in this rainforest area are just huge ferns and thick, dense brush. And they're caves and nooks and crevices for these animals to hide. You've got to think about, not only taking an ethical shot, but are you going to be able to follow that animal?
We did it, Simon. Yes!
We found some blood. We got down in here, but it got dark on us. It's wet. We're tired. We got a long way back to camp. I know he's down, but there's a million nooks and crannies, so we're going to go back to camp and we'll be up here first thing in the morning. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much tonight.
Well, I'm soaked to the skin, trying to get around through this thick stuff to try to see if we can't locate this tahr. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, I'll tell you what. With all the blood washed off by the rain, it poured last night. The river by camp is just a torrent. There's nothing out here that you can't grab onto that isn't soaking wet. I just got up here to this cave and there's some blood in here. Our tahr Made it about 60 yards and bedded down, but he's not here right now. So likely he's going to be close by here, I think. You're looking at one happy bow hunter here, I can tell you that. We found him underneath this rock cliff right here. We're going to pull him out here where we can get a little bit better footing, do a little bit of a hero shot. Well, Simon and I got the tar pulled up from under this rock, and you can see it's raining now again. It's starting to fall again. You know, this is February in New Zealand, and that's late summer, which is a perfect time to bow hunt these tar. They don't have the perfect wintertime coat now, but at least you can get in range with them. It's a rainforest conditions here on the west coast of the South Island, but if you can brave the elements of the rain and you can get into this thick cover, there's a lot of fun bow hunting to be had. Last year I took a nice European chamois down here with Simon. Didn't have a good opportunity on a tar, so we came back this year, and we've got the mountain double here in New Zealand, Kiwi double. And I'll tell you what, it's great when a plan comes together. Look at this tar, beautiful. I'm really proud of him.